Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome, everybody. Uh, yes. Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. David, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm having a
What's up?
fantastic day
What's up?
and a
What's up? What's up?
fantastic 2026.
Hey, what's going on in the house, man? I saw
Well,
Derek Myth Vision earlier. He published a video. Like, even he's getting involved in this now.
what?
And he's saying, why are Americans being threatened and doxxed by Muslims for criticizing Islam and all that? Which was, Derek is a good guy. I'm glad that he spoke about it. But I see that things are escalating even more, and somebody's doxing Thaddeus now and all that. What's happening here?
Yeah. Yeah. So, what Malik? Malik. I mean, they should have been able to predict it. Leak is literally in his name, but he out leaked and out snitched even Fareed. Fareed was the goat before that with Fareed leaks and so on, sharing behind the scenes messages from Yasser Qadi, which forced Mohammed Hijab to try to step in and fix it. And that led to the holes in the narrative interview, which completely destroyed people's
Some holes
confidence
in this book.
in the myth of the Quran's miraculous preservation and so on. So Fareed, that was back in the day. But Malik, he just comes out of nowhere, snitches on everybody, snitches on the Warner, says that the Warner goes around, I'll take it up the butt. If you can get me into the Illuminati, I'll do whatever it takes. And you can just ditty me however you want and stuff. Um, he exposed them for going to clubs and rub-a-dubbing in the club with trannies and stuff like that. Not just like, I'm talking the Warner and Sneeko and Adam Saleh and all these dudes, talking about how these dudes would be having three ways with a girl they picked up at the club. Talked about them running trains, these guys, and he's calling them out by name, running trains on people. And then he said the Warner like to sit in the chair and watch and so on, and how these guys take Dawa donations and spend them on drugs and all that. And anyway, he just exposed everything. But he thought,
Wait. What does
what,
running trains mean?
one dude after another, all on one girl, while the Warner watches. That's why we call him the Watcher now.
Okay, I wasn't familiar with this, with the terminology. Now I know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the thing. We have to learn these terms from the Dawa guys, like golden showers, and people have to learn all these amazing terms. Anyway, so he thought, since he's just running his mouth on TikTok live, and he apparently like deletes them afterwards, he thought it was just gonna, it wasn't gonna be used, and we all started using it, and then he tried to get us all to back down by this was his brilliant strategy, going after God Logic's wife. And so he went after God Logic's wife. This led to some level of Quran desecration. And then he said, "You will never, no, you can never mess with me. I'm too powerful." And he announced that he's going to war. And his war is just like doxing everybody. So doxed my wife, doxed our home address, started doxing everyone else, doxing like IP and Thaddeus. And with Thaddeus, the docs Thaddeus's wife too. We've got a theory that since he targets wives so much, that he's actually, gay, and he's attracted to dudes, and he's jealous of wives, so he goes after the wives. That's an ongoing theory. And anyway, he doxed Thaddeus's wife, and so I responded with this awesome bit of artwork here. Not sure you can see how awesome this is, but we've got Muhammad in a jar of my personal concoction. Had to drink a lot of beers to fill this up, but I did it. I took one for the team, not the way the Warner is willing to take one for the team, but spent a lot of work here. But we've got Muhammad suffering the torment of the grave by being in a jar of my urine, and for some reason he's still burning in hell, even though it's in my urine. And people saying, why didn't you put the Quran in here? But hey, you didn't see the backside. Not in the Warner sense, but it's all in there, baby. All thanks to Malik. This is some serious, like, high level artwork, and he's just like, I doxed your wife. I doxed your wife. Well, dude, your prophet is soaking in pee-pee for all eternity now. This is forever, dude. Doxing is momentary. Your prophet soaking in pee-pee forever. That's forever, man. That's forever. All thanks to
So
Malik.
I want to clarify for all those who don't know what's going on and what's up, that these acts. So there was a time several years ago where I never thought of actually ripping up a Quran or desecrating it. I always kind of feel weird about using the word desecrating in reference to the Quran, but or doing anything to the Quran until it came to the point where popular Muslim apologist Ali Dawa, who has over 1 million subscribers, said in a video in public that I and people like me who leave their religion and spread corruption by spreading this, that we will be executed, and that all Muslims like him are proud of that and will be watching. In response to which,
Like the Watcher.
I ripped up the Quran and asked, is this worse than killing people? The Muslim response was anger at me for ripping up the Quran, not anger at him. Muhammad Hijab, popular Muslim apologist, threatened my family with all kinds of things like rape, and also David's family and all that, in response to which we increased that stuff further. Over the years, it has been a thing for Muslims to threaten and kill people who desecrate the Quran. And although I don't see any value at all in doing anything to this stupid book, I think that it is an absolutely noble, good thing to do now, to rip up a Quran and to desecrate it and to disrespect it as much as possible, because Muslims apparently think that they hold the power to tell us what we can and cannot do. They think they can tell us.
I hold the power right here.
They think we should be killed and we can't say anything about it. So screw your book. I realized earlier today, as I was taking my dog out to take a dump, I forgot to take poop bags with me outside. Then I remembered that the recycling bin is right next to me, and I just threw away a bunch of Quran pages that I tore off the Quran.
Like
yeah, so I took one of those Quran pages and I took 2 or 3 of those Quran pages and picked up his poop with the Quran pages and then threw it in the trash, which was actually very good use. Now I'm thinking I should get all those Quran pages out of the recycling and should use them simply as poop scoop bags. That is why we're doing these things. So, and also because we want to normalize it, and because we don't want anybody to be killed and to be threatened and anything like that anymore. So I encourage it. I encourage it wholeheartedly. If you want to have some fun, rip a Quran. If you want to have some fun, do things to the Quran. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking around for my Sharpie because I need to draw some eyes on this guy. This is Dr. Maloink. So Dr. Malik is the not so famous rapper who's been doxing everyone. But I have this guy right here. Nice pig made completely out of the Quran. He's Dr. Maloink, but I think he needs some little nose holes and some eyes and maybe his ears, and then of course the part that all the Dawa guys care about, the butthole. But I'll have to draw this on with a Sharpie. Can't find my Sharpie.
So today we're going to talk about Candace Owens. We're going to talk about Candace Owens. Naturally, whenever we talk about Candace Owens, there is an influx of retarded people and insane people who approach the comment section to come to her defense. So I want to say it from the get-go right here. It already starts as soon as you say Candace Owens. Somebody jumps up and says, "Are you a Jew? Why are you working for your Jewish masters?
Did they pay you $7,000 to say this about Candace?"
So I do not believe in giving everyone the full right to say whatever they want in my own comment section. So I will very, very nicely, if you spew garbage here, just ban you, just so you know. Because I don't really get much fun out of that. It's just retarded at this point. But we want to talk about Candace Owens. She has gone completely insane, man.
Yeah, she went insane a long time ago, but she's revealing it more and more. More and more people are catching on because
the thing is,
she's not well.
I listened to what she just recently said, and there are questions that pop into my head as soon as she says these things, such as so she actually sat down and said these things in front of a running camera. She recorded herself. And then she probably doesn't publish things. Somebody else probably does it. So somebody else sat down and thought, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's put this all, let's produce this nicely and then publish this all. So they apparently thought, okay, this was a very, very good idea to give a speech about her having these magic observations and Charlie Kirk being a time traveler and being killed by time traveling agents and all that. So she thought this was a very good idea to say. Somebody else thought this was a very, very good thing to publish. I mean, is everybody okay here in this process? But the other thing I'm thinking is also, I wonder how cynical and messed up she actually is. And I wonder if she's just deliberately going down this route of complete insanity because she knows that she's going to be completely screwed in the Macron case. She's going to lose and she's going to pay, which is why she's trying to make the case as much as possible that she's just insane. I don't know.
I actually thought about that. I think she's I think she's legitimately crazy. We've talked about that. A high functioning schizophrenic who, once that person goes out on their own and is no longer under kind of forced into keeping the crazy under control, they go out on their own and then they let the crazy out a little more. But if they're in an environment where their fans cheer for it, then they can just let out the crazy more and more and more. So I think she's legitimately crazy. But it did cross my mind a couple times, like if it's deliberate and she's just sounding as crazy as possible, so that when the lawsuit comes along, what are you talking about? I'm insane. I'm insane. I'm not responsible for my actions. So you can't. You shouldn't take all my husband's money for this.
It's pretty messed up. So let's just jump into it.
Not in the Zoot sense. Or Warner sense.
Let's jump into it, not in the Muslim sense. Let's look at what is being said here. So Candace Owens has said a lot of weird, messed up things, such as that people who don't believe her and people who challenge her investigation into the Charlie Kirk murder are probably going to hell and are not proper Christians. So apparently she is now judge and jury over who does and does not go to heaven and who goes to hell. Because and forget about the Bible and all that. It's her. It's her. It all hinges on her. You think you're saved or something? Forget about that, man. What's wrong with you? You listen to Candace Owens. That's how you get saved. You want to go to hell? You disagree with Candace Owens. That's how you go to hell. However, her recent greatest insanity is the following.
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me. Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages? And again, not anything that I would have placed so much emphasis on back when he was saying it, but it came to fruition. The other parts, he did die young. Why did he think that him dying young was necessary in order to change things? He did die young. It is related to Turning Point USA.
Yep.
In some way or another, at the very least, we could all agree it's related to him speaking at a campus event.
Yeah, someone gets killed for speaking. They're time travelers.
I'm totally occupied by this. I tell you, I read these messages and I'm going, what is this? What is reality, actually?
Time travel.
What is reality?
What is reality?
Oh, what even is reality?
Yeah.
Hey, oh my gosh, I said Israel. Are they taking control of me? Oh no.
They've got me.
Oh no, they got me. I didn't even realize they got me. Wait, are they making me say this? Oh my gosh, guys.
Hey, and in an Eminem song, Rap God, he said he came from the future just to shoot you. He's a time traveler too. I wonder if he knew Charlie in the future before they traveled back in time as kids.
That's true, from the future.
Who knows what reality is?
Yeah. He bought a ray gun too from the future. So he's that.
And Charlie died. Yes, like I said, it was related to this organization. And I think we would all agree that his death and the manner that they did it changed the world in ways that I don't think we can fully realize. Or certainly.
I agree. It totally changed the world, but I think it's mostly changed Candace's world and turned her into a complete lunatic.
And there is the issue of, notice there's no connection between the thoughts. Hey, he changed the world. Oh, he made a difference. See? time travel. Must have, this fits in with my time travel theory that do you see how everything, like, one, her obsession with Charlie and that they're somehow like meant for each other and so on, which is why she's enraged at everyone she perceives as having kept them apart. So that's all of Turning Point. That's Erica. They all kept her and Charlie from being together forever. But I mean, think about it. It's Charlie traveled through time to get to her. Like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, that's like, you've got weird stalkers out there with weird fantasies about people, but Charlie Kirk traveling through time to get to her.
I'm sure that throughout my life of texting people, I may have said all kinds of weird things to people. Like, hey, I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like I'm from a different generation. I'm very sure I've actually said I don't belong in this time. I think I'm like from the 70s or something like that. Every single time that I said something like that, I was making a point and I wasn't being serious.
I always feel like I'm from dinosaur times, and that I was this T-Rex just ripping stuff apart, and then like a time traveler came and took me from back then, and then made me a human little baby, even though I'm a T-Rex, and I just feel like that, and but I wouldn't have put a lot of stock into it back in the day. After a while, I'd been like, okay, well, I have delusional thoughts. Maybe I shouldn't trust that, but now I don't know. What is reality? What is reality?
This is the funny thing. Like I'm very sure. I've always thought. I've always had a great love for, I don't know, 60s, 70s music, 80s music, and all that. Much more so than contemporary music. Have always listened to those old songs, and sometimes I like jokingly wondered if I was born at the wrong time, or maybe I'm just maybe I time traveled or something like that. There was not a single time that I actually meant it when I said it to myself or to somebody else. However, if I did say to somebody else at some point, and I'm sure I did in text and also in speech, hey, I really like 70s music, I really like 80s music. It feels like I'm actually from that time. If I said that to Candace Owens and then I died after a while, I'm pretty sure she would think, and now I remember he said to me that he was from a different time, that he was from the, and now it makes sense. Now it all makes sense. I think he was actually from the 80s. I think he actually time traveled. Because how else do you explain reality, guys? I mean, really, look at the text. I mean, back then I didn't really think about it, but now it all makes sense. And how did he like that kind of music so much? And he also always thought that he was going to, contribute and change a few minds, at least one person's mind or two people's minds. And that just shows that he was actually being followed by the secret agents of the Matrix who wanted to track him down and kill him. And when he said he wanted to change minds, what he actually meant was that he was going to change reality altogether. I'm not exaggerating. Let's continue.
Certainly not in a way that I can articulate. You just cannot pretend that all of this is one big unhappy coincidence. It's entirely plausible, I think, that they knew something about Charlie. And that's why they had him marked and had him monitored and had him likely followed since he was young. And maybe they thought...
Since he was young.
Yeah, so there were people, these agents, as we'll find out. There are these agents who've been monitoring and following Charlie from the time he was a kid because they understand that he's actually a time traveler sent to communicate with Candace Owens. And so they've been following him his entire life. And then once he stepped out of line and nope, he's gonna reveal too much. I mean, just think about this. You've got these time traveling agents, you've got Mossad, you've got the FBI, you've got Turning Point themselves, and they're all part of this grand time traveling conspiracy now, and they had to silence Charlie. Meanwhile, they just can't stop Candace Owens from uncovering all of this and sharing it with the entire world. They can't stop her.
The funny thing is, she's not even living in a super secret location. Like she has said many times by now, that her place is in Nashville, that she's between Nashville and London and all that. It's like, she's probably extremely easy to follow around and all that. It's not like she's like a super hard to reach individual. Apparently, Charlie Kirk was being followed from very early age. When he was a kid, of course, the time traveling agents realized, hey, wait a minute, Agent ZX1025XX707AICPD. Do you recognize this kid? He seems oddly familiar to me. I think he came from the future. I recognize him from the future. We must follow him very closely, and if he makes a wrong move, we have to kill him. So they were always onto him, but they always let him get famous and all that. And then eventually they somehow killed him through some lunatic climbing onto a roof and shooting him with a crappy gun. But they're doing nothing about her.
They can't stop her.
They somehow can't get to her, although she's very, very easy to reach. They somehow cannot get to her. They don't know how. They just don't know how. They have tried everything. They went into the future. They went into the past. They killed the dinosaurs. They killed the freaking dinosaurs.
My people.
They chopped up cave people and ate them. They killed all kinds of different things. They got rid of animals that went extinct over time. They went to the future and killed all kinds of people in the future. They brought people from the future back and experimented on them in today's time. But they just cannot get to Candace Owens. They don't know how.
She's protected by magic, apparently. Maybe Charlie put a magic spell, used his last bit of life to put a magic spell around her. Like, did Harry Potter's parents do something? I remember they did some sort of spell to protect him or something. I don't know. I saw like 4 of the movies.
I hate to break it to you, but Harry Potter is actually a fictional story, David. So,
what?
The agents.
You don't know that. I mean, we would have thought that before, but now that we're thinking about it a little more closely, maybe J.K. Rowling's from the future, and she wrote this to try and, open our eyes to reality, whatever that is.
Oh my gosh, you're right. What is real, even? I said Israel.
Think that if they swarmed him and they stayed with him and they pretended to be his friend, that ultimately they could control Charlie and perhaps change an outcome. They could literally change an outcome related to Charlie. So when for the first,
she's talking about the future, guys.
I do believe he was managed. I mean, I've already said I was handled. I didn't recognize that I had agents. And for the first time in his life, Charlie peeks his head up and starts to push back in a meaningful way. They couldn't stop him from becoming bigger. That seemed to be inevitable. But they panicked. They seem to have panicked, right? I mean, this is just starting to happen within a year when Charlie's going like, hey, man, I don't actually think this. I don't actually believe this. And then he goes, you know what? Take the money. Take the money out of the organization. And they panicked. They freaked out. And their solution was, no, just kill him. Just kill him. We can't.
The time traveling agents who've been monitoring Charlie Kirk since he was young. There were also these time traveling agents who were controlling Candace, and of course they lost control of Candace. So I don't know. Maybe she is in serious danger from them. But yeah, they let Charlie go on as long as they could control him, because she says they were trying to control the future. They're trying to, they're trying to change the outcome of the future, like the Terminator and stuff like that. And so, but yep, they took him out. Keep in mind, guys, guy climbing up a building because he's enraged at Charlie Kirk and what he says about, trans and stuff like that. And this guy's boyfriend is a trans person, and him being enraged and wanting to take out Charlie. That's completely unbelievable. That's completely absurd and unbelievable. What is believable, time traveling agents monitoring the time traveling Charlie Kirk, who went through time to reach Candace Owens. And then there's this, of course, everyone's involved. So everyone's in on this time traveling stuff. So again, the FBI, the Jews, Turning Point. There are lots of agents in Turning Point. These are time traveling agents. And I just have to say, shame on her idiot fans for not calling her on all this stuff and
here's the crazy thing.
Insanity.
Speaking of fans, here's the crazy thing. Like I thought, okay, no, this is going way too far, man. I mean, if this woman goes live and records videos and talks about time traveling and agents following Charlie around since he was a child, and then trying to prevent him from becoming famous. Apparently, these time traveling agents are a bunch of absolute useless idiots. Not sure how they're agents of anything, but so they were following him around, and eventually he got too big, and then he was getting they were losing control of him, so they had to kill him. This is her theory. She questions reality. She questions all kinds of things. I would think you would think normally that some of her subscriber count and followers would start saying, all right, I'm out of here. This is insane. Candace, what's wrong with you? But the comment section is just depressing, man. Candace, please interview Charlie's parents. My assumption is that they are being silenced. Help us understand what's happening with that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they're just minding their own business. One day when the ship from the future shows up and says, "Hey, we're giving you this little toddler. He's from the future. He's here to connect with Candace Owens, and you're just going to have to take care of him for the rest of his life. But don't worry, we'll be close to him. We'll monitor him, unless, and this might be a better theory, that his parents are also agents. They weren't his real parents. So maybe Candace will start screaming for DNA tests for the parents."
Candace is homeschooling the whole world. This actually kind of confirms my biggest issue with Candace and people like her. I mean, she's a joke, but she also makes a lot of people out there retarded, because she apparently educates people by telling them, I mean, what even is reality? And
whoa, such a deep thought.
I think Charlie was actually a time traveler, because at one time he said to me, I'm a time traveler and all that. So at that time, I didn't think much about it, because, it's just something that somebody says. But now I think that he actually was a time traveler, and that he was actually killed by time traveling agents. And people actually think, wow, this is very amazing. I'm learning so much right now. Wow. I saw some really, really weird comments here. One of you, we should all take a minute to pray together, millions of us, and so on. Yeah, if you want, if you combine your religiosity with whatever Candace Owens is, you're probably steering toward some messed up cult. So please don't do it. That's true. I saw here. I would have never thought in a million years that Candace Owens would cover stories about the Project Looking Glass, alternate realities, and time travel. Very cool.
Super cool.
I mean, look, over the years, I've said a lot of stuff about pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
I have explained how dumb and useless much of pop culture is. I have made fun of reality TV. I have humorously referenced the Kardashians and Keeping Up with the Kardashians and all that as something that is, I think I have done that for quite a while, as something that is completely useless to society. But I have to say, I want to apologize for all that, because I think if you spend your time watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, that is probably significantly more useful than whatever the hell this is. This is just complete retardation. I'm sorry. I mean, there are channels that are geared toward nonsense like this, where you can sit down all day and you can waste your time with alternate realities and what is happening in this other dimension at the same time that we are existing. In another dimension, you are currently this and this and that. You are currently a dinosaur with sausage fingers. Look, stuff like that is interesting to explore philosophically, but it's not a reality. Once you start exploring that kind of stuff as a reality, you have just lost the plot. Time travel is nonsense. It is a logical impossibility. It is nonsense. Okay, when you waste your time with dumb stuff like this, you are just simply dumb. You probably should. I don't want to say you probably shouldn't have children, because I would have probably said that a year ago, but I don't want to think that way anymore. But please change yourself and don't make children that are retarded like you. Please sit down, realize, speak to somebody who is like a little bit more educated, a little bit more intelligent. Stop watching Gaia. Stop watching weird channels that talk about the hidden realities of the world and the other dimensions and an underground society that controls the future and kills everybody who steps out of line. It goes into the past to change the future from the past. Stop talking about time travel. I mean, please, man, what's wrong with you people? The thing is,
You're kind of sounding like an agent, man.
Well, I am an agent.
Secret agent man, secret agent man. Yeah.
Well, the thing, I'm receiving actually $7,000 per live stream from the agents who control the future to tell people that they should stop bothering about the future. That's basically what I do. Yeah. Back with, she's cracking the Matrix. This is amazing.
Yeah, and the Matrix can't stop her. She's too powerful with her magic.
Current's logo is also 666 overlaid with each other like a tunnel or pit in the middle. Okay, now we go into insane symbolism here.
Hang on. You know, it's seriously like absolutely like shows how stupid her followers are. Wasn't it just like what, month and a half ago or something like that? 2 months ago, when it was there's this international plot and it's been arranged and the assassins are coming for me and I'm in danger and oh my goodness, my government will not protect me. It could be any second now. It could be any second now. Any second now. And then she goes to like Dollywood or something like that for the weekend and then comes back and okay, let's just get back to things. And it's like, wait, what happened? Why did that stop? Why was this imminent assassination happening, and then you go to Dollywood and it's all over?
Well, that is exactly what makes me think less that she's simply insane and raises
that sounds like scam. That sounds like total scam.
Makes me think that she has found her scam and she's simply building on it. She knows that people are stupid. She knows that people will eat up anything. She knows that she can sensationalize this mass stupidity and bank on it. She knows that she can benefit from it. She has a family. She has a future. She has secured her future safety and all that. She can now spout all kinds of garbage about the assassins. They're coming for me at any time now. They could do this and this and this to me. Ching 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 ching. Money, money, money. Attention, views. Now let me go on vacation. That's perfect. It's a perfect way to live and to make money if you have zero morals and zero standards. If you have no ounce of integrity and no ounce of honesty, which makes me simply think that she is pure evil. So I'm kind of split between these two things. She's either insane or she's evil. I don't know which one it is. You know? I really can't tell which one it is. I really do not know.
It is a tough call.
Very, very tough call. And then there's also this. So Candace Owens is now pushing that Charlie Kirk was a time traveler and that he had agents, yes, like the Matrix, monitoring him from childhood, and that he was killed because he tried to disturb space-time continuum. I'm not kidding.
He's not kidding.
And then it gets even worse. Like this is put together by Nathan Livingstone from Milk Bar TV. Shout out to Nathan. He's doing a fantastic job. He put this together. A series of Candace Owens dreams. Just how much have Candace Owens' dreams been the basis for her Charlie Kirk investigation? A shocking amount. Actually, before we get to this, I want to look at a very brief one in which we can see her most recent exposition of her dreams. But what I want to remind everyone of is that for many weeks and many months, Candace Owens made all kinds of wild claims about Charlie Kirk and his assassination, about Egyptian planes, about about this and this and that. And she said repeatedly,
Time traveling Egyptian planes.
she said repeatedly, and I will give you the evidence and I'll show you the proof, guys. I'll show you the proof. I'll give you the evidence, guys, and you will see. And everybody will agree with me. You will agree with me because you will see it. She has given no single shred of evidence of anything that she has ever said so far.
Bull or dreams.
The piece of evidence that she gives is dreams.
Anyway, today I feel that it is time to tell you the entirety of the repeat dream that I was having in those early weeks. It was actually a replay of an actual lunch that Charlie and I did have in the past. Back in 2018, Charlie and I went to Israel together. And in the dream, we were sitting in the exact same restaurant on a patio. And Charlie began the conversation saying something that he actually said, a real memory from that trip. Charlie was sitting on the patio and he was eating hummus. He's like, "This is the best hummus I've ever tasted."
Hummus. Wait. Whoa.
Who else mentioned hummus?
Who else talks about hummus eaters?
Tucker Carlson.
That's true. And he did not have a high opinion of these hummus eaters. What if hummus is actually a mind control substance from the future? And that's how the Jews are controlling us all. Because I eat hummus. Have you eaten hummus?
Yes. Oh no, I knew it. I'm also a time traveler.
You know what's funny? As dumb as what we're saying is, if she were to say that, her fans would go, "Oh my goodness, oh, she's right. Stay away from hummus. We must ban hummus. It's what the Jews are using to mind control us from the future."
This is also another thing. Look, I know that people are fascinated with some things that are not easy to explain for the average population. And by average population, I'm including myself. I'm not being a jerk here. Okay. Some things are a little bit difficult to explain, a little bit difficult to grasp for the average population, for people, for us in general, and they seem therefore kind of mystical and magical and weird. Among those are things like time traveling, or speculations of time traveling. Not that it actually happens, but speculations or imaginations of time travel in the future. I've read quite a bit about how nonsensical the idea actually is, and which is why it is nowadays very much considered a complete fantasy. There are other things such as sleep paralysis, and then there are some other things such as recurrent dreams, which people generally think, wait a minute, this is not normal. Why would I have the same dream over and over and over again? If I have a recurrent dream, it must be magical. It must be from some other place. Look, I do not contest that it could be, right? I don't contest that at all. But if you have a recurrent dream, that does not necessarily mean that there's magic attached to it. Unless you tell me a story of something related to something that is happening right now, and you have this recurrent dream that is telling you something, and then it actually comes true and all that, right? Okay, I'll grant you that. But recurrent dreams on their own do not imply or indicate any kind of magic or unnatural weirdness. It's actually very, very common. Most people have recurrent dreams. Most people have at some point recurrent dreams. It's not magic.
And I mean, seriously, like, given that she seems to be a compulsive liar, I don't even trust her when she says I had a dream. If she knows her fans are swayed by that, then anytime she wants to come up with a new theory, I just remember I was, I had this dream, and Charlie said to me in the dream, "I came from the future, and there's agents, and they're following me, and they're here to get me, and I was sent here to reach you from the future, and with the agents." And she said, "Now I know. It's like, okay, all right, not interested."
So let's see.
Oversell. I always feel there are certain places that people hype so much that when you go there, you feel like you have to pretend it's the best thing you've ever experienced. Otherwise, you sort of let yourself down. It's like, this is the best ever. And truly, I didn't love Israel. I didn't love it. Even when
This is so funny. She actually, although it is completely irrelevant to what she's saying, She has to point out that Charlie said this is the best hummus I've ever had, and then has to actually attack that very thing. Because how can somebody say something positive about Israel? How could they do that? Not Israel. How could you like something that is from Israel? How could you like something in Israel?
Down. It's like, this is the best ever. And truly, I didn't love Israel. I didn't love it.
Candace
Candace
Owens didn't love Israel. Shocker.
We know that by now. I think we have gathered that by now that you didn't love Israel. Funnily enough, she did love Israel until very recently. She went to Israel, she came back from Israel, and she did love Israel. In fact, she also defended Israel. She also defended Israel against the Islamic world. She was a defender and advocate of Israel. She was on board with anything pro-Israel until very recently.
No, the entire time it was Israel.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It was Israel. So she could be talking about a completely different place.
And now she has turned around and changed, which is why now to her it is just completely inconceivable that somebody would like something about Israel. I mean, that just looks like she's dumb, but anyway.
Even when I was a Zionist, because it felt dangerous. You could sense the Muslims hated the Jews. It felt like we were on a tour. People were sneering at us. I just didn't love Israel. I've expressed that many times in the past, but Charlie was getting into the character. It was the greatest thing he had ever eaten. Anyways.
This is so funny. Even when she talks about him, he's dead. He's gone. Look how she just randomly and casually disrespects his memory and implies that he was just, not telling the truth, that he was just pretending.
Anyways, the setting of this particular getting into the character, it was the greatest thing he had ever eaten in the past, but Charlie was getting into the character. It was the greatest thing he had ever eaten. Anyway.
I mean, we both went to Israel together, and Charlie was like my best friend, and I love him so much, and I will never forgive people for lying about him and all that. But I mean, I personally, I wasn't tricked by Israel and all that,
But Charlie
I didn't like Israel. But Charlie, he pretended to be, and he just got into the character because he was kind of an idiot. Anyway, you absolute bitch. Anyway, let's continue.
The setting of this particular dream, however, had one dramatic difference. We were not there for the opening of the embassy. And this difference, by the way, I don't really understand yet. I'm just sharing it with you. Instead, we were there in this dream setting for Bibi Netanyahu's wife's funeral. Again, that makes entirely no sense. I've never met his wife. I've never spoken about his wife. I know nothing about his wife. So that's just the context of it. I don't make the rules of Dream World.
If I was
why not? Why don't you make the rules of Dream World?
Somebody else saying it. If somebody else was telling this story and she was watching that story, she would immediately jump on this as a threat to Benjamin Netanyahu's wife, wouldn't she?
Mm-hmm.
If I was acting and thinking like her, I would immediately point out how she just issued a veiled threat to Benjamin Netanyahu's wife, and that she wants Benjamin Netanyahu's wife killed, and that she probably has like people in the field, that she probably knows something. And I could say, I don't know, but I know that she is in on a plot to kill Benjamin Netanyahu's wife. But of course, we are not insane like Candace Owens.
And obviously, as we were sitting there, it didn't strike me as weird because when you're in your dream state, everything that happens for some reason feels like, oh yeah, this is totally normal. Anyway, Charlie said to me, I don't have much time. He followed that up explaining to me that I needed to see what happened on his left. And he told me explicitly, they betrayed me, multiple people. And I said, I know, but who? Then came the frustrating part of the dream. Every time I would say who, when you're in a dream and you go who, or you try to speak in the dream, and then suddenly you're actually speaking in real life and you start to wake yourself up from the dream by accident. That's what kept happening.
That happens to me every time. Every morning I'm dreaming and then I'm like, who? And then I wake up. Very, very, very annoying.
And whenever I would try to listen to what he was saying, it sounded like he was underwater. So I was frustrated by this. I can't get to the part where you tell me who betrayed you. It wasn't until the third week after his death that finally...
I honestly don't think that ever actually happens. I know, dear chat, do you experience that too? I feel like that's like something from movies, you know. It's like a movie. It's like a stereotypical movie dream. That's what it sounds like to me, honestly. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that just really sounds like a stereotypical movie way of talking about a dream. Like that stuff happens in movies. I don't know. I don't think that actually happens in real life.
Finally, one face came through in this dream. It came through as clear as day from around the corner of the restaurant.
And it's funny because she's talking about it like, and you know, when it happens, you know, that happens, like everybody knows. I don't think that actually happens in real life. I mean, that's a movie plot, dude. It's a bad movie plot.
And it was Andrew Colvet's.
Wait, what?
Can't get to the
Who?
part where you tell me who betrayed you. It wasn't until the third week after his death that finally one face came through in this dream. It came through as clear as day from around the corner of the restaurant. And it was Andrew Colvet's.
How bloody convenient.
Yeah, I mean, I have
How
to say,
awfully convenient.
this is going to be used in court, man. This is going to be used in court, dude.
Bitch.
This is going to be used
How
in court.
convenient.
At Andrew Colvet, is that his name? Colvet?
Yes.
Andrew Colvet's trial for the assassination plot. Candace just has to get up there and share her dreams, and the jury will be like, "What? You saw his face? You were obsessing with him month after month, and then you saw his face in your dream? Oh my goodness, the case cracker!
You sniveling, evil, filthy, lying
This is the proof!"
asshole. For those who don't know who Andrew Colvet is, Andrew Colvet is the producing manager of the Charlie Kirk show. One of Charlie Kirk's closest friends, with whom Charlie was always, every day, in contact, with whom he was coordinating things every day, all day. The first person who, when Charlie first got in touch with me, when he messaged me, as soon as I replied to him,
From the future?
yes, he invited me to have a conversation. I said, yeah, let's do it. And then he immediately said, okay, get in touch with Andrew. I had no idea who Andrew was at that point. He immediately gave me Andrew's number, and Andrew already knew everything about it because they talked about it already. So I have been in touch with Andrew Colvet since then. And he was always, like, whenever Charlie has an idea, he would exchange it with him. He knows all about it. And Andrew basically coordinates all the organization and everything that is part of the Charlie Kirk show, that is part of Turning Point USA and all that. He's somebody that Charlie Kirk actually trusted, who was always in his group chats. You know who wasn't there by Charlie's side? Candace Owens.
Yeah,
And
but I mean, what if Andrew Colvet is an agent from the future sent to monitor Charlie from childhood, and you know, Candace figured him out. So you're not refuting her little theory, dude. What? You're not.
So ridiculous, man. So
showing all of the escalating insane rhetoric, but this one is really, really.
this gentleman to the right here is Andrew Colvet.
Hey, he does have beady eyes, man. He does have some creepy beady eyes, man. So he looks like he's up to something. So
that was a statement. And that's what they're doing here, is they're intentionally dehumanizing conservatives. They're intentionally dehumanizing ICE agents, law enforcement personnel, federal personnel.
So this is Andrew Colvet. He's the one whom Charlie Kirk put in charge of the Charlie Kirk show when he was alive. And he's the one who still runs the Charlie Kirk show to this day. He's the one who was running so much of all Turning Point USA events during Charlie Kirk's life. And he's still on top of everything, on all the operations of the Turning Point USA events to this day. I know for a fact that this guy spends day and night, following the latest news, commenting on everything, organizing guests to come on the show, coordinating all kinds of stuff within Turning Point USA and the Charlie Kirk Show. Whenever there is a Turning Point event, spending day and night running around all day and night long, trying to organize everything to perfection. He's like the top guy, the number one guy who is basically running everything. He's working his bottom off to make the Turning Point USA operations perfect. That's what this guy spends his time with. He works so hard every day to keep the Charlie Kirk Show running. This is what this guy spends his time with. And this guy, according to Candace Owens, is the guy who betrayed Charlie Kirk. How does she know this? It was revealed to her in a dream.
What else do you need, man? What else do you need? He does have some beady eyes. And I have to say, nothing you just said is in conflict with her theory. You're like, oh, look at all the stuff this dude does and how he took over the Charlie Kirk Show and was running the Charlie Kirk Show. And it sounds exactly like one of Candace's time-traveling agents.
And from my interactions with this guy, he's a fantastic dude. No.
Well, that's exactly what an agent would want you to think, dude. You're not making any sense here.
He's a fantastic guy.
He seems to you to be a fantastic guy because he's an expert in mind control.
I mean, I asked him to talk about Iran. I said, hey, this Iran thing is getting very, very serious. Please talk to somebody, talk to some Iranians about Iran. He immediately replied to me and said, recommend somebody and I will. So I picked a few people and recommended them. He said, I'm on it. So he immediately called them on and talked about Iran because I suggested it and it's important right now. I said next day, hey, please invite another Iranian and talk about Iran again. He said, okay. So I recommended Maher Tusi. He invited him on. Maher Tusi was on there. He talked about him. He talked with him for quite a while. And then even messaged me afterward to say, I loved it. Thank you. And like this is the guy who, according to Candace Owens, is an evil guy who betrayed Charlie Kirk and is behind his murder.
Well, it's like one of like tons of people, right? There's a ton of people involved. I bet. I mean, she's like 4 shows away from talking about lizard people and stuff like that.
What an evil bitch. Anyway, so let me take a few super chats here. They've been piling up, and David is not even reminding me about it because David doesn't care about super chat.
Well, the agents told me not to say anything.
Kit Kat for Christ. My thoughts after seeing the title. What else is new? Wow, I'm really shocked. Agent Mir says, if you haven't seen it already, I strongly recommend listening to the powerful phone call from a very desperate Christian daughter of an IRGC commander on Maher Tusi's latest live stream at the 1658 mock prayers. I might make a note of that and check it out. Inshallah. Maher Tusi. Maher Tusi. Maher Tusi. His latest live stream, you say? From 2 hours ago? I don't want to steal his music.
Don't do it. Don't steal his music, man.
What if he sues me, man?
1650.
The whole thing went offline. A control could collapse within 90 days. Now, to get more support from her father, English sub. We're going to show you this video of the claims that she's making about her family, about her father, English subtitles.
فاطمه جان درود به شما، به برنامه خوش اومدید.
سلام، صدای من میشنوید؟
بله خانم، رسا در خدمتیم. خوش آمدید.
من از داخل نظام تماس میگیرم. پدر من جزو یکی از عوامل نیروی سرکوبگره. میتونم بگم شما آقای رادان رو میشناسین؟
بله، با شوربختی نام منحوسش رو میشناسیم و قیافه چرکش رو دیدیم بارها.
بله، من خیلی ترس و استرس دارم. میتونم بگم هم سطح جنایتکار رادان هست پدر من. من فقط میخوام یه چیزی رو بگم.
جان.
به مردم ایران، به این سرکوبگرا حواستون باشه. این فرمانده هاتون ساک و چمدوناشون رو بستن برای من که دخترش هستم، برای مادرم، برای تمام اعضای خانوادهمون پاسپورت های جعلی درست کردن با اسم مشخصات جعلی که ما رو فراری بدن به خارج. پدر من چمدون دلار تو خونه قایم کرده، مدام با تلفنش منو بگین بیام دادگاه لاهه، من یه آدم زندم، شاهدم که چه جنایت های فقط پدر خود من کرده.
فاطمه جان
الان دستور میده بکشین، من کجا بیام؟ من عکس دارم، فیلم دارم، مدارک دارم، ما اینا نیستیم. من سر جنبش محضا رفتم، منو گرفتن با 3 تا از دوستا، ولی منو شناختن، پدرم اومد منو آزاد کرد. تو همون خونه باتون به سر من شوکر زد به من،
پدرت
باتون زد که من نرم، ولی دوستامو ول نکردم، به اونا تجاوز شد. ما این درد داره به کی بیایم بگیم بابا این لامصب پدرم، ولی من ازش متنفرم. ما اینا رو نمیخوایم. مردم ما از خانواده ایناییم، ولی اینا دارن بچه هاشونم میکشن، سرکوب میکنن. این دست باتون دادن، شکر برقی دادن، تفنگ دادن که ببین همشهریاتو بکشی. میدونی اینا تقریب به تو خودش اولین کساییان که فرار میکنن همینان. شما کجا میخواین جواب بدی؟ با کی جواب میخواین بدی؟ نکنی همشهریاتون رو نکشی. من تلفنم میذارم رو خط، هر اطلاعاتی که بخواد، هر دادگاهی بخواد، پیش هر رئیس جمهوری بخوام میگم اینا کیان، چه کارهای کثیفی که نکردن، از خونه شروع کردن، تجاوز کردن به بچه هاشون. میفهمید؟ میدونین ما خودمون چه دردی کشیدیم از این پدرهای سنگدل؟ به زور سرمون چطور کردن، نماز گفتن بخون، نماز شب بخون، من رایدم به اون اسلامشون. من هنوز محجبم به خاطر اجبار پدرم مادرم. ما خودمون زد کشیدیم. من اگه توانی داشتم اولین نفری بودم که اینو بکشم. من 2 بار خودکشی کردم ولی ناموفق بود، به خاطر مادرم نجاتم داد. نمیتونستم از بچگی این ننگو تحمل کنم. اینا همه خانوادهشون مثل شبخانی نیستن، همه اونطوری با بچه‌هاشون رفتار نمیکنن. این نیروی سرکوبگر همین امروز اون باتونه تو بذار کنار، برو پیش مردم. من بچه اونام، من با اون نون حروم اون بزرگ شدم. شرم بر من.
تو گناهی نداری دخترم، تو خودت قربانی و درود به شجاعتت.
نیست اگه بودم کاری.
Damn, man.
That would be a pretty important different translation there. Oh, that was today too. I mean, what Tusi's covering there.
So the situation in Iran is dude, I get that I'm speechless, but you're a psychopath. You can just keep talking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's messed up stuff, man. Screw this regime, man.
So the situation in Iran has really gotten out of hand, and the thing is, I'm kind of reserving some of my thoughts about it because I have a lot of thoughts about Mr. Donald Trump's role in this whole thing as well.
Hey, don't talk trash about Trump, man.
So here's the thing. It's one thing to go in and help an oppressed population, or to simply stay out of it entirely. but to directly send messages to the Iranian population and encourage them repeatedly to go out into the streets and to fight the regime, to be brave and to fight them and to take names and all that, and say, don't worry, help is coming. We're coming to help you. And then to not do it and say, hey, actually, we changed our minds. Not going to do anything about Iran right now.
Yeah, because some of the other Gulf states told us to stay out of it. So sorry.
And
about
with
that.
all due respect, in all honesty, with everything good that Trump has done so far, the thought that this gives me is that Donald Trump is complicit in the killing of thousands of people in Iran. And just because of this, I'm kind of hesitant at this point to talk about this until I think about it a little bit more and talk to a few people about this.
It is screwed up because the U.S. Has done stuff like that, and other Western nations have done stuff like that before, repeatedly with the Kurds. They'll need their Kurds on their side for something in the Middle East, and they'll promise all kinds of support for the Kurds, and hey, help us out here, and we got your back, and then the Kurds have their back and do what they're supposed to, and then they leave the Kurds on their own to face the backlash against them.
Right now is actually the first time that, according to current reports, the Iranian protests are slowing down, and the numbers of people going out to protest outside are decreasing. And I can't blame them, because they probably lost hope. Because they were just told by the great world power of the United States of America, hey, now is the time. Take them down. Don't worry. Go outside. Rally. Face their bullets. Give your lives. Die. And we're coming to help you in no time. We will be there. And by the way, a warning to the Ayatollah and to the Iranians, to the Islamic regime. If you start killing people, we will come in and stop you immediately. So he encourages the population in Iran to go outside and to die. Thousands die. Guess what? The help that was promised never comes. And these people simply die. They watch their loved ones get brutally killed by the Islamic regime. And then they get the news that Donald Trump, after talking a little bit to J.D. Vance and to Qatar and others, changed his mind. Is actually not sending any help. So, sorry, you went out there with this encouragement. Sorry, you got injured, locked up, raped. Yeah, your friends and family members died and all that, but we just can't help. We just can't come this time. Sorry about that. Maybe next time. I mean, if I was an Iranian right now, I would be absolutely furious and outraged about the United States of America and Donald Trump. And right now, as we speak, this is why I'm kind of trying to be a little bit reserved in my assessment of the situation. This eradicates any good thing that Donald Trump has ever done, in all honesty, in my mind. And as said, Donald Trump and the United States of America doesn't have an obligation to go and help. The United States doesn't have an obligation to go and help and do anything. But to actually encourage this population to rise up and to die, to actually promise that you will send help, that you will come to their help, that you will help them take down this regime, and then to not do it. That is completely messed up. Absolutely messed up. I don't know if anything's going to change about this, but this is just completely messed up at this point. And the best thing that should happen is for the Iranian population to go out, if they had the power. And I would encourage, this is also why I was completely in favor of intervention here, to help them to take down the Ayatollah himself and all the members of their regime. Take them down, drag them through the streets, and execute them. every single one of them, just as it is done in every single revolution. Drag them through the streets and make them pay for every single thing that they have done to the Iranian population. No mercy. I hope they achieve it one day. No thanks to Donald Trump. Camden, you see, I know it was the Sumerians. Yes. People talk about playing 4D chess. Muhammad played 3D, but
30D.
But not chess.
It's a joke.
Jack Ray, thank you. In your recent debate, AP, what is up with Junior saying that Allah used the Holy Spirit to spread the religion of Islam? Is that not the sin of Shrek? It is.
Shrek. Hey, AP. What? A bunch of people keep saying something about Junior and a monkey, but I don't know what it's about. Tell me what he actually said and not like joking about what he said, because I can't tell if people are joking and he said something seriously messed up or what.
Dude. Let me just play it, man. Let me just play it.
Hey, should we review this? I had a couple people saying review some of it.
You can review it. I don't want to be there when you review it.
Okay. Maybe I'll review it with. Thaddeus is saying we should review it, so maybe I'll get Thaddeus.
Go ahead, leave, so I can actually have a conversation with a actual human being, not a monkey who went to Israel and got fed bananas by Netanyahu. If you're gonna eat bananas from Netanyahu, at least enjoy it. At least convert to Judaism. At least suck his dick.
Wait, what?
Sorry, I wasn't aware that he says it right here. So,
and look at that. Look at the idiots. Is Julian there a Muslim, or he's just a random anti-Israel guy?
I think he's mentally underdeveloped, but I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, he seems to just.
But anyway, this was not the highlight of the thing. This was it.
Demonstration. I just showed
Tommy Robinson and other people. So I went to the Temple Mount.
Let me bring the monkey back.
We went to the Temple Mount. We went onto the holy sacred side where Jews are, which Jews revere in very holy ways, where they don't actually take any steps because it is too holy for anyone to make steps on there, right? I went on there. I put up my camera.
What the heck?
As soon as I put up my camera, people from the Jordanian Waqf, whom Israel authorized to actually have control over the place.
Hey, images are haram, man.
No filming. Are you Muslim? No filming. I was like, what do you mean no filming? There's no such rule, man. I can just film here. Like, no Muslim, only Muslims. Subscribe to only Muslims. So they said only Muslims can film. So we had a big argument, and eventually some security guy from the funny thing is, as I'm speaking here, I continue speaking, and I'm watching what he's doing here, and still continue speaking.
Yeah, how are you just
and thinking, what the hell is happening?
And then this idiot beside him, Julian here. What the heck is this thing? But no, I mean, think about this. One, images are haram. You're not allowed to play with dolls. But I mean, two, in Junior's mind, right? Junior would be thinking, well, we are allowed to, as long as we're a little girl before puberty, then we're allowed to play with dolls. I'm playing with dolls. So obviously I'm a little girl before puberty. And what do you say to that?
Fair point. Who is appointed by Israel as authority over who can and cannot approach the Golden Dome and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, forced me to go away and to dismantle my camera and to walk away. So Junior here says that Israel can do whatever they want. They threaten the world. However, what Israel actually does is, despite their own Jewish population is so bad wanting to be on the Temple Mount, they give control over the Temple Mount to Jordan, which says only Muslims. If you're not Muslim, go away. How in the world does it even make sense, man? With what logic does that even make sense? I swear, I don't want to insult you, but this is just so ridiculously stupid, you know? This is not a serious conversation in any way.
What are you talking about? Junior is ramming.
Why don't we jump into the Q&A?
Junior's ramming bananas into a stuffed monkey's face and showering it with cash. How is that not a serious conversation?
I didn't realize that he just did the finger.
If you guys, why don't we jump into the Q&A? This has been.
Let's do it.
interesting
Wait a minute.
conversation, to say the least. Got a couple of.
Any arguments after the Q&A?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry about that. There are 5-minute.
This was such a ridiculous debate. I really wanted to. It wasn't really a debate. It was basically a conversation between two people and two retarded children.
Sorry, Junior. There are consequences for flipping the bird in a debate.
Flipping the bird. Flipping the bird.
Look. Hey, look. Hold up. Hold up.
Hey, this is actually a good moment. Look.
What is the Quran?
Look, I got a bear.
Belongs to the
Look, I got a bear. Look,
And again,
I'm
I will-
feeding the Quran to a bear. Look, eat it. Yeah, what? Look, this is how we debated. This is Dawah 2026. Look, look, I'm feeding Quran to a little Care Bear. Oh, look, the bear's humping the Quran. So funny. Oh, this is how I debate now. This is Dawah 2026.
How are you sounding exactly like them, man? Wow. How did you do that?
So why do you talk about the Quran? How does it serve you to talk about the Quran if you don't believe in
I
it?
talk about the Quran to point out what a disgusting book it is and how it is a.
Why don't you just eat it like your best friend David Peddle would?
Is that a challenge?
You
This
go ahead,
one
eat
from. Dude,
Look at my reaction, David. Look at my
it
reaction.
like your best friend David Peddle would.
I could.
You go
this
ahead,
one
eat it.
from. Do appreciate
go.
your question.
There you go. This is exactly. He had it ready too. You know,
Dark
he knows.
Ninja 33.
Every time
The funny thing is, I started eating it, and he loved it. Like, he loves it.
he goes
Yeah,
out
he gets
to
off on it.
the Quran,
Don't
he
provoke
goes,
me,
"Eat."
He provoked the goat. He provoked the goat. You do not provoke the goat.
Don't mess with the goat, man.
Ryan Gasling. Looks like Can Tint will be a 2026 staple also. Powerful. Issa, what's up, Issa? Welcome. Hey, Issa, what's up?
Hey, Issa.
Jack Ray. Dawa guys are leaking on each other, and now Jake has started effing the entire Dawa crew. It's a circle of jerks. That's a very, very nice use of those words. I did see that Jake was going crazy and saying, everybody get an F.
Did you watch that? He was going off on everybody, man. And it was funny because he posted his different rankings. He posted his different rankings of the different Dawa guys, and he's like, Shabir Ali, since he's like out of Islam, I'm giving him an F. Everyone else, and he gives them like D's and C's and so on all the way up. And then everyone flips out at their ranking and complains about their ranking. And he's like, you're all getting an F right now. Anyone who questioned their ranking or criticized him in any way, he put them all in the F. He gave them all F.
This is that's such a typical Muslim thing to do. I saw that Ijaz was complaining, I have had back pain and had sickness and all that my whole life, and everything is so difficult. And now I'm being called a C-tier Dawa, and I think I want to quit now.
Oh no! Will the Dawa ever recover?
This is what you guys care about, man.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Someone just pointed out. Who was it? I think it was IP just pointed out, hey, there was a ranking of Christian apologists. You don't see anyone flipping out about it or being bothered by it at all. And it's not just, it's from Jake, because Andrew Wilson after that, he did his own. You saw 0 people flipping out over it. And these guys are ready to like destroy all of Dawa and Islam over their place on Jake's ranking.
Wait a minute. I hope they rank me correctly. Otherwise, I will quit my work forever.
He's trying to be his objective.
I actually watched it. They don't rank me at all, but they mention me. So
who?
Andrew Wilson.
Oh.
And Jake Rattlesnake.
Well, that's what you get.
So that's what it's all about. What ranking? Ranking? Why didn't you rank me higher? This makes me want to quit my da'wah. I don't care about Allah and the truth. I just care about recognition. David AP, are there more debates coming soon? Yes, at the end of this month.
Well,
in Houston.
I don't know, man. Jake looks like he's in full meltdown. And James had to message him because Jake's like, I'm going to get David. I'm going to show up to the debate with police and have David arrested. So James actually had to message him and say, are you serious about debating? Because if not, I need to replace you. You need to tell me. But I haven't heard anything back. But I think Jake's gonna find a way to back out. He's gonna make an excuse. He's gonna back out somehow.
Yeah, I don't think that Jake actually wants to have those debates. So
No, he doesn't.
He already backed out of both of our debates, so it's kind of strange that he would now challenge us to debates on this stuff.
Yeah, and so he's looking for a way out, and he'll back out. It just sucks because I told him in a live stream, like, I don't know, almost 2 weeks
Every
ago.
Muslim debater is mentally ill. It's just what it is.
Yeah, he's not in a good place. But it was like 10 days or 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I said, hey, Jake, if you're going to back out of the debate, do it now. Do it now so that James has time to plan a replacement. It's going to suck if 2 of the 4 or 5 debates you cancel at the last second and he can't get a replacement. And so don't be a. I know you're a Dawa guy, but try for 5 seconds of your life to not be a complete scumbag.
I'm actually fine with that. We could have those debates scheduled, and then the debates wouldn't happen because the Muslims would back out, and we would just have fun with all our friends who come to watch the debate.
No, James should set it up so that James should bring in Junior, and if Jake backs out, Junior can take his spot for the debates.
But to be honest, I'm kind of scared of the debate anyway, because Jake is kind of a difficult opponent for me, Jake Brancatella, and I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that whole debate. So I was kind of hoping that he would back out because I have my challenges with that, and I feel kind of I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have accepted the debate challenge because it seems like a difficult debate to have. So I was kind of hoping that he would back out. It would come very convenient, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, super chats. Mike Winger accidentally posted a blank draft of a video on his YouTube page. It was still more coherent than the Quran. I believe you. Israel Bethel says, I'm Jewish and I approve of this. Powerful. Ryan Gosling, recycling is totally bathed. It is. Mike Rochwinger. Mike Winger is the kind of guy to oppose Candace, not because of her insanity, but because she doesn't talk about Star Trek or have a lit up gummy bear jar. Well, to be fair, that's a good reasoning. So Sven Ove Johansson says, I've come from the past and what a risk, gray hair and wrinkles. Time travel is risky. I remember smooth skin and now traumatized victim. My time travel, true story. I believe you.
Oh man, hang on. Silink. So we got the Malik challenge. Everyone's posting their videos, doing stuff with the Quran, but she just rolled up a Quran joint.
Who?
Huh? It's Silink. She rolled up a Quran joint and is smoking the joint. People are coming up with some crazy
who's
stuff.
Silink?
She's someone who's been posting response videos to the Malik challenge.
Oh, cool. Malik said, is Jake a Muslim? We're talking about Jake Brancatella, the Muslim metaphysician. He is a Muslim, allegedly. Also good to see you here, Malik. Much love to AP Ola Dramos Ese. Gamden says, Mike Winger got mad because when Candace said to the future, Mike Winger thought it was a Back to the Future. That's funny. Shameful music. Candace is definitely a space cadet. Demonic possession and time travel are big issues. Where's Nordine? Where'd Nordine go, man? Slavic Chile. Candace recently boosted and endorsed atheist CCP shill propaganda against persecuted Christians in China. Because she's a... I'm not going to say it. Paul, Charlie Kirk was assassinated because he came from the future to tell us that Brigitte Macron has 2 penises and the agents wanted to protect the Macrons. This makes total sense. Saan Deep Kobab says, maybe Candace wants to reach Prophet Muhammad level status to meet the Al-Zut. Makes sense. CO is a time traveler and she was one of the Al-Zut. Makes sense. Abu Bakr Puff Daddy, AP and David Wood, should US strike Iran? Perhaps IRGC. They should strike the Islamic regime. AP Junior and the Monkey, tell David Wood. No. Laurel Leaf says, where are the people who love her? If I started going crazy, my husband would be the first to cut the camp. It's so sad that she has nobody who loves her. Well, that would be the case if her husband was a normal person. But I don't think that her husband is a normal person. Paul, JD Vance appears to be a huge disappointment. Marco Rubio seems to be as eloquent as Vance, but more courageous and effective. In any reasonable society, people would look to Marco Rubio instead of JD Vance as their potential next president, because the thing with JD Vance is he's a very good speaker and an inspirational voice, but he knows next to nothing at all about geopolitics or anything related. And he's kind of on board with a very with a not so Western attitude. I really do not. I never really liked his politics, and he's a flip-flop guy. Marco Rubio is very, very experienced and solid. And the thing about Marco Rubio is, and you could argue that Bernie Sanders is a man of principles. Marco Rubio is a man of principles. I could say this about the worst person out there that I really do not like. JD Vance is not a man with principles. The guy is a flip-flop guy. And such a guy you do not want to be your president.
Do you mean he wears flip-flops?
Yes. He likes flip-flops. The guy changes his opinions from one radical position to another radical position within a few years. And that is just, you don't want that as your president. I would root for Marco Rubio all day, every day.
Lil Marco?
Here, of course, we have somebody who misunderstands the point and says, Bernie Sanders has principles, LOL. Yes, he does. You might not like them, but he does. I do not like them. I think he should be nowhere near government, but at least the guy sticks to certain principles. That's what I'm talking about. You don't have to like them. You can vehemently disagree with them, but at least he has principles. J.D. Vance has none. Nothing. No, I'm MKW. None of my takes make any sense, so how else? That's true. Ash Mays, this isn't a far logical leap from being pro-Hamas. That's true. Cult War Wraith, that is what happens when you let the Jews steal the Vatican's coronavisor. This is true. Ryan Gasling, LMAO, I'm losing neurons and loving it. Is Candace now an Alex Jones wannabe? Also, this chat is from proto-electronic age in the 2200s. Yes. To be honest, I think that Alex Jones sounds significantly more reasonable than Candace Owens does at this point. Follower of Rich Dis says, if she actually believes her own nonsense is bad, but that's worse. But what's worse is that she'll still have followers that'll believe this. I know that makes it all much worse. I mean, if she was just some random...
yeah, if she were sitting in a room in a mental asylum and so on, that's
Precisely,
okay.
yeah.
There would be nothing but like sympathy for her for being crazy, but she has tons of followers praising her and believing this nonsense. Well, it's fine. Good. She's finally started talking about the time-traveling agents. I know about those.
I mean, if she was on the subway and saying exactly what she's saying here on the show, people would probably like walk away from her and look at her weird and be like, do you need help? No. Okay, I'm just going to mind my business. You're crazy. But if she says it on her channel, people follow her and like the content. Paul, AP channel 14 did 2-part series about ISIS mosque in Israel doing dawah to Jews. Maybe Rebecca or Ash would want to do watch party about this. Ash is right here. Ask Ash. Mosh Cohen, what's up, Mosh? I think she's referring to Jews by saying time travelers as a wink to her ridiculous audience. The thing is, she's actually being serious with the time travelers issue. But the other thing is, you're bringing up one important point, that she actually does connect the whole time travel issue to Jews in the end.
Well, I mean, if Jews are the ones who got the space lasers, then it makes sense that they would have the time travel technology later. Because they have the space lasers, they can shoot everyone, and then they are the only ones to develop the technology.
Let's listen to this again and see how she connects the whole issue with time travel to Jews.
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me. Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages? And again, not anything that I would have placed so much emphasis on back when he was saying it, but it came to fruition. The other parts, he did die young. Why did he think that him dying
And everybody who dies young is a time traveler.
young was necessary in order to change things? He did die young. It is related to Turning Point USA.
So Charlie Kirk said he was going to die. He would probably die young, and then he did die young. Therefore, there's something crazy going on. I'm sorry, but any solid activist and popular speaker who engages in stuff that Charlie Kirk engages in probably thinks about the possibility of death very, very frequently, and the possibility that you will probably die young, that you'll probably get killed, that you'll probably something will happen, because you're living a life that is full of action and threats all the time. And I have said many times that I might die quite young as a result of this. And,
yeah, I mean, think about this. I got Malik talking about how all these dudes are going to show up, and he docks me, and he's all these guys are going to show up at my door, and he's running his mouth, and here I am sitting there. I mean, I could barely walk in here from all the Quran pages around. And what's he do? Nothing. I've got his prophet soaking in urine right now, and no one comes to rescue him. I've got Dr. Maloink, the Quran pig. I'm sitting here day after day after day. I'm supposed to die at 49, apparently.
But here's the ridiculous thing. Charlie Kirk actually did get death threats all the time from hardcore leftists and others. So he did get death threats all the time. He also talked about this, that he does get death threats all the time. So he did say they might kill me sometime. At some point they might come for me and kill me, right? I might die young. Of course that gets to you. But here is also the funny thing. He gets death threats all the time from people who actually say that they want to kill him. Eventually one of them snaps. One crazy bastard actually comes and does kill him. And what Candace does as a result is, how did he die? It must be that some secret agents who work on the behalf of those who protect the future in the name of the Jews killed him, because why would anybody else want to come and kill him? So you have numerous death threats of people who actually say, I want to kill you. And when somebody actually kills him, your conclusion is that some weird underground agents must have killed him. And this is just pure mental retardation. I don't know what else to say.
In some way or another, at the very least, we could all agree it's related to him speaking at a campus event for Turning Point USA. I'm totally occupied by this. I tell you, I read these messages and I'm going, what is this? What is reality, actually?
What is reality? Like, what is even reality? And this is something that you say when you're high.
Inevitable.
She does sound like she's constantly high.
But they panicked. They seem to have panicked.
Okay, so here's where she connects it to Jews.
And for the first time in his life, Charlie peeks his head up and starts to push back in a meaningful way. You couldn't stop him from becoming bigger. That seemed to be inevitable. But they panicked. They seem to have panicked, right? I mean, this is just starting to happen within a year when Charlie's going like, hey, man, I don't actually think this. I don't actually believe this. And then he goes, you know what? Take the money. Take the money out of the organization.
So she says that Charlie was radically changing his mind over the last year and saying, I don't actually believe this. What she's referring to here is obviously Zionism and Israel. And she's exaggerating completely, because Charlie, to his last final moment, never, ever changed his position on Zionism. Never changed his position on Israel. Never changed his position on any of these things. He did bring up certain questions and certain concerns and certain critiques. And if she actually cared so much about Charlie Kirk, then she would know that Charlie was always like that. He also frequently criticized his own conservative circles. He criticized fellow Christians. He criticized the Republican Party that he loved so much. He asked questions about Donald Trump, whom he helped so much. That's how he was. He didn't shy back from asking questions and raising issues when there are issues to be raised. He didn't for a single second never, ever change his mind on any of the positions that he had on Zionism and Israel. But this is what she's implying. And what she's saying here at the very end.
Here, when Charlie's going like, hey, man, I don't actually think this. I don't actually believe this. And then he goes, you know what? Take the money.
This is it. What she's referring to here is that according to one of the messages, one of the Jewish donors asked Charlie to no longer include Tucker Carlson or something like that, and said that he has to stop donating to Turning Point USA. And Charlie was angry about that and it is implied that he just let that donor go. That's it.
Yeah, so that's actually Charlie not liking being told what to do. I would
Yes.
grant that in a second. He did not like you trying to control who he has speak and doesn't have speak. Did not like that. And at the end of the day, it was, okay, if you're not going to fund us because I'm having Tucker, then you're basically telling me, I have to not have Tucker on, or else you won't fund me. Okay, then don't fund me. She connects that to, nope, Charlie has renounced his concerns.
David Wood, with whom I...
And yeah, so there's that one. What else? What else is there? I'm trying to think of what she can say legitimately. So Charlie definitely. Oh, and the other thing was, he did seem to be ticked off that Israel does such a crap job defending themselves against accusations, and that all the weight is falling on like Turning Point and other organizations in the U.S. Like, why aren't you guys the leaders of defending yourselves against these things, and everything falls on us? You guys are doing a real crap job. But his response to that was, we will assemble a team to help and train you how to do this. We will help you to defend yourselves so that it's not always other groups that have to be defending you against these claims. But that doesn't sound like a guy who suddenly realized, oh, no, I hate these guys. It's you guys suck at responding to this stuff. We'll help you do it. And that, by the way, was the one Candace said was lying. She said that Netanyahu was lying about that letter. Netanyahu was spot on about what the letter said. She just concluded because of this that Charlie, nope, I'm done with Israel. And that's why they had to kill him. Total nonsense, idiotic nonsense. But it's just amazing that all this stuff can be refuted months ago and she still spouts it.
Yeah. Charlie Cook also said to me when he talked to me in public that
he said it to me in a dream.
That the jihadists and the purple-haired jihadists hate him for 900 different reasons or something like that, and was hinting at death threats and all that. But no, she wants to connect us all to Jews. So her theory is the following. Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. He came from a different time. Since his youth, the agents of the Matrix, who also traveled through time to track him down, eventually found him in our timeline. From a very young age, they were watching Charlie Kirk travel through these different times and interacting with the time that we are in right now. Charlie Kirk was trying to save the world. They were onto nothing good. They wanted to control the future in their evil, evil plot. And their evil future was also controlled by one particular force that controls the world, which is, of course, Israel.
Doctor Who.
And when Charlie Kirk got out of line and no longer wanted to be controlled by this evil cabal of evil Zionists and Jews who control the future and make everything dark, they had no choice left but to kill him. They, of course, were a bunch of time-traveling Jews with yarmulkes.
Hey, did Doctor Who travel through time, or did he just travel around the universe? I forget.
I've never seen Doctor Who.
I only saw it when I was like 6 and 7. My wife and kids ended up watching it. It was a different person at some point, but yeah, I only remember from when I was like 6 or 7. But I don't remember enough about it. I know he was messing with aliens and stuff.
The funny thing about all of this is also that that according to her narrative here, Charlie Kirk was
both. All right.
Was also a sellout through most of his life and was just working with the evil ones for the longest time until he decided to no longer do that. So they killed him. What a good friend. What a good friend you are, Candace. You evil demon. Demons are very important. Israel Bethel, want to confess to everyone that I actually came from 2082 and Donald Trump is still our president. All LGBTQ and liberals are now replaced in Gaza. Hey, it seems cool. Interesting. Austin History, AP, can you get any guests on stream besides Mike Winger? Mike is great and all, I just want some variety. I might have David Wood here sometime, but that's kind of boring. Howdy Matuna. I imagine that the Al-Zud were actually time travelers that went back to avenge the atrocities of Islam without changing the timeline. But Mo enjoyed it. Can we be honest, says David is the perfect person to analyze her mental state. Yoga Tudor says, this is unrelated, but I'm curious how you interpret 1 Corinthians 15:2-9. Mormons tend to use it as evidence of baptism for the dead.
Why'd you be asking AP, who's been a Christian for like 10 minutes?
Correct. That is the question. David, do you want to elaborate on this particular verse in the Bible?
No, it's a confusing verse because we don't have that, and there are different theories about it. One theory was like that it refers to new people being baptized in to replace people who are dying and so on. But no, I don't know. Or it was something to where people who didn't have died before they had an opportunity to be baptized, you have a baptism like in their place and stuff like that. But no,
Truth Seeker says, you see, AP is from the future. No one from this time could invent such a thing as a Quran pooper scooper. This is the proof. That is true. Walk and run. Hey, David, did you see my Al-Zud poem yet? I sent it to your email a few days ago. Anyways, love your channel, bro.
No, haven't gone through most of the emails yet. Kind of waiting until we. Oh, that's on a different one. Yeah, I haven't been going through most of the emails that have been sent in because a bunch of them are for the Malik challenge, and we're kind of waiting. We haven't set an official deadline, but we're gonna sit down. Thaddeus and I are gonna sit down at some point and just we're gonna rank all these and come up with the top 100. But yeah, so it'll be a few days before I'm going through emails. I'm just waiting until we decide to go through everything and put everything together. But yeah, it's a different topic. But yeah, I'll be getting to
Jimmy
emails in a few
says
days.
nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. When Hamlet said it, he was pretending to be crazy. Candace is dead serious. That's funny. Ryan Gazing, when one grift closes, another one Owens. Paul, it's gossip corn. They enjoy the drama and gossip. Talking with Candace fans, they talk like a drug junkies, trying to prevent us from ruining their high. GigaChat of NPC says the average black person thinks they built the pyramids and invented everything they had zero to do with. Why are you surprised at all? This isn't unusual. I don't think that is what the average black person thinks. I don't think that is that reflects reality properly. I think that's a big stereotype. But okay. German says, AP, stop being influenced by demons to attack Candace Owens. She's not crazy at all. She's just asking questions, man. Shameful music. Next month, Candace will be plugging David. Icky. I know people say Ike or something, but I just like to say it in the German way. Then a month later, he'll be on Charlie's death. I wouldn't be surprised. I wonder why she hasn't brought in the whole lizard people into her conspiracies yet.
Give her time. Give her time, AP. A month ago, you were saying, I wonder why she didn't bring time and travel into this, and here we are. Here we are.
I might have actually said that. John West, hang on. You guys just on the... You know what the funny thing is? Several months ago, as we were still talking about Candace Owens, I probably would have used time travel as a complete exaggeration to parody the kind of crap that she puts out there. And now she actually talks about time travel.
Watch. 3 weeks from now. And so, lizard people are real?
Hang on. You guys just don't understand black girl magic because it's not in your Bible, David. Yeah. J-Wit Podcast, YouTube Tales from Candace's Dreams. Paul, Bill Ackman retweeted a video of an Iranian who survived a shotgun shot by Basij. He shows he is filled with silver bullets. He's filled with holes. That's pretty messed up. Cat for Christ, don't give Tucker and Candace video ideas. I will. Candace is reminding me of Deuteronomy 13:1-3. What does that say, David?
It's about false prophets, man.
Hamas at the Cold says, David Wood, I think it's time to bring back a Bob Ross style video where you're painting on a canvas made of Quran pages Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut, like Crowder back in the day. A good walkthrough. That's a good idea.
That was a classic video. He painted.
Johanna says, girl is having demon paralysis and I think it's a revelation or something. Girl is having demon paralysis and thinks it's a revelation or something. Reminds me of someone. That's funny. Joe Levers, a Jews commie, met the government building in Romania in 1920. Therefore, all Jews, but don't generalize all Muslims because of one true convo I had with a clown. True. Ashmays, unfortunately, I had a displeasure spending a few years around someone with a major personality disorder. Dream stories like this were often told. I am very familiar with that. Dimanosov, did David name the pig yet? I was thinking Malakan, like Malik and bacon, but it also sounds like how Arabs say yo.
No, we went with Dr. Maloink.
Maloink. That's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
we voted on it. People offered some suggestions. I narrowed it down to 2, and people voted, and Dr. Maloink won like
Terrible
70%.
choice. Terrible choice.
You're Turk. What do you know about cool names?
Aussie Abe, Candace is 100% a Mossad agent or schizophrenic. Probably Mossad agent. Well, she's a schizophrenic Mossad agent. AP, this is a funny comment. AP is so obvious that you and David have been compromised and not thinking, only saying what you've been told to say. Obvious since you both took the trip. Stay in your lane versus Islam. How about you go tell your mom that?
That's one possibility.
Dr. Alex Fitness, how is David Wood's journey to Orthodoxy going?
Well, I went to church with AP once. That's about it.
Right, you did. You did, actually. It was kind of funny when I went to church with, when IP came to church with me. It was like during DebateCon. So Sunday morning, I'm going to church. And he's like, yeah, I'll come with you. Oh, okay. Which church are you going to? Yours. Oh, okay. So he just comes with me to the Orthodox Church. And apparently knows the entire thing, how it goes. But he's not Orthodox, ostensibly.
Whoa! You don't get to say what he's not or what he is.
It's funny. Kephad Yesod. David Wood, I sent you a song I made titled It Was Malik, based around the Shaggy song It Wasn't Me. Hope you like it. Play it if you can. W. David, W-A-P.
Oh, yeah, check that out. Yeah, since Malik is supposedly going live tonight, me and Thaddeus probably go through that tomorrow. But yeah, we were talking about It Was Malik. It was Malik. He doesn't like accepting blame for anything, even though he's causing the biggest campaign of Quran desecration the world has ever seen.
Powerful.
It was Malik.
Karagat, the AI translation isn't perfect in some places. She actually says Aish on Islam, not converted. That's pretty cool. Dimandasov, David buys some googly eyes from a hobby store for the pig. Those things are hilarious.
That's true. I was just going to draw some eyes on with a Sharpie when I found it, but everything's buried in ripped Quran pages here, so I can't even find anything. But yeah, googly eyes would be funnier.
If we can trick Fuentes into calling Candace a Jew, do you think she'll just start blabbing everyone's secrets? Yes. Love your interviews with Frank
That's what I
Turek.
wrote, Malik.
Charlie's attention on Islam should be further proved to anyone paying attention. His priorities were straight. Yeah, Charlie was... I mean, dude, if I wanted to be completely dishonest and an asshole like Kenneth Owens, I could say, isn't it a coincidence that Charlie, in his last months, started increasingly speaking about Islam and increasingly said that we should all be paying attention to Islam. Islam is the biggest problem. One of the biggest problems, if not the biggest problem. I think Republicans, conservatives everywhere should be talking about this. Christians should be talking everywhere about this. I want to start a new project where we talk about Islam everywhere to prevent the Islamization of America and the West. That is what Charlie was saying in his last moments. If I was a complete nut job or a spineless asshole like Kenneth Owens, I would start creating the conspiracy theory here that Charlie Kirk was killed in a plot by the Islamists because he started going against Islam hardcore in his last months. And you know what? It would actually make sense. Unlike anything that this dumbass Candace Owens has said. Aussie, my sources confirm that Candace is the former lover of Hitler and time travel into the future as a black woman to accomplish his goals. 100% facts. I agree with you. I believe you. Amit Yanuka, Trump could still do something. He never said he changed his mind. It's a bit too late for that. Lear Gill, communism and Islam, the same side of the same cursed coin. Yes. And as bedfellows, the compelling lie that has destroyed a free people. Free Iran, we are next if we don't. Silence is equations. I agree. I feel the same way, AP, says Samuel. Thank you. AP was cooking and Junior was playing with his monkey. Kifizat Mashiach says, Islam and leftism are both globalist ideologies. It's why they are natural allies. They are the only ones who want a global one world government. Metamorphosis, check out Goldie's stuff from today. She says the revolution isn't done. Be hopeful. I think Trump has a plan. I hope. If he doesn't, I agree with you. I like Goldie and I like what she does, and her channel is really taking off. And I would suggest everyone go watch her stuff. She's fantastic. And I would say she's the person to follow to comment on all things Iran at the moment. So shout out to her. Goldie Gamari. She goes live every day twice or something by now with Armin and others. So check it out.
Hey, that's funny. You said Goldie. Goldie's the one to go to, and I was thinking, what about Armin? And then you said they work together, so that's cool.
Yeah, they go together live every day or so now. It's pretty cool. It's getting crazy views too.
It is totally based.
Kit Kat for Christ. I'm American. I even want the US to get involved. Powerful. Me too. The grandparents of the protesters threw out the Shah and welcomed in Khomeini and the mullahs 47 years in February. They did this against the USA. The children can undo what they have done without US boots. Okay, yes. However, do I have to say it again? Do I really have to say this again? Seriously, I mean,
They are two different situations. If they just decided to start protesting one day and we're going to overthrow the government, that's one thing. And AP already pointed out the U.S. could maybe have a reason to get involved, or maybe have a reason to set it out. But when the U.S. is encouraging them, don't worry, we got your backs. We're not going to let these guys kill you. We're going to do something to make them stop. And that encourages them to go out and put their lives at risk. And then you say, actually, now, we're not going to do anything now. That's a different story. Now you encourage people to do something that is getting them killed, and you're not providing the help you said. That is a different situation.
thank you. To my surprise, David is the one who listened. So, Viper DB.
The only one.
Johanna, look at the bright side. At least they are kind of improving. After all, monkeys are closer to humans than goats, donkeys, and cows. Hey, that makes sense. User, Candace is doing this for attention. Financially, it makes no sense. Her husband is already worth 120 million. Lawsuits could cost more than that. I don't know. I mean, even if you are a multimillionaire, you have to make business, right? So there should be a ranking of most favorite Zutz, said Aussie Ape. Pazzi, do you think Candace could be a foreign domestic asset? She doesn't act like someone overly concerned with lawsuits. I mean, she certainly is an enemy of the United States of America. She's an enemy of the U.S. Army. She's an enemy of U.S. intelligence. She's an enemy of U.S. Government, of the current government and the past government. She's an enemy of our police, of our security officers, of every single thing that is American. She's an enemy of American values. She's an enemy of every single Western thing that you have. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if she's in on some plot against the West. I mean, what is there really that Candace has done over the last year or two for the West? Has she at any point been supportive of Western values, of Western governments, of Western people, of Western nations, of the Western populations? I mean, the people that she implicates in the murder of Charlie Kirk are basically everyone. Pretty much the entire US population. She's a treacherous witch. Zach Gelby, great job as usual, guys. I will talk to the tribe and get you guys that 7,000 shekels. God, I appreciate that. This is that's what we do. Beer meant beer MTN. I can't read. I can't talk. Bear MTN, just popping in to request you guys do a stream with Nooks Taku, whether about Islam, Middle East politics, Christianity, etc. It would be legendary. Shall be considered. Camden, Bernie looks like the guy from Tales from the Crypt. Good point. David, who is Al-Mahdi?
That dude that became popular for like 5 seconds last year.
Nice. Soldier of Christ said, David, I know you're brave and fearless, but I definitely am worried about your safety from these monsters. So please be vigilant and report those bastards. Love y'all. By the way, Islam is gay.
Yeah, I understand. People worried. Oh, no, they're going to get the dizzle. Let me break this down for you. If you're walking through the woods one day and you see D. Wood fighting a bear, don't help D. Wood, help the bear. All right?
That means help David Wood. Johanna says, if Charlie Kirk is really a time traveler, why didn't he show up to Stephen Hawking's time traveler party? You see?
Well,
you're making a good point.
Doesn't mean you want to show it to everybody.
Yes. Cracklin, if I was a time traveler, I would keep myself from dying young. Makes sense. Heroes Workshop, Charlie Kirk moved the chair in the past, and David Seguera became David Wood.
It's Segara. Segara. We were pronouncing it wrong when we were saying Seguera.
Seguera.
Segara.
Kit Kat for Christ said, my favorite doctors are 10 and 11.
That's from that Doctor Who show.
You mean the 11th and 10th? Okay, good.
My favorite doctor is Dr. Maloink.
Huh. My fairy tale live, random, but fave Momo story. I got a surprise. What is your favorite Momo story, David?
Probably El Zut story.
Hey, what's up, taco? Want some tamales?
I'm not walking across this room to grab my sombrero, man. It's a siesta.
Miss Dunaglo says Charlie Kirk will return in Avengers Doomsday. Hey, I believe so too. Christian Godfly said, if you're a Bears and you see this, don't give up hope. Don't ever give up.
Okay, I should read this seriously. If you're a Persian and you see this, don't give up hope. Don't ever give up. Jesus saves no matter who the government is. I agree. Elon says, as a Jew, this is the first time we've been accused of time travel. If this continues, you may have to make your winters rainier. You should have done that a long time ago. Don't be sloppy. Sven O.V. Johansson says, many called to witness one witness walking, out of them 144,000. The second witness walking, Mahdi. Now you know who Mahdi is. Oh, that's pretty good. Alex J. lost a 1 billion judgment. Candace could too. That's true. Instead of screaming goats, it's screaming monkeys, said Camden. Powerful, powerful, powerful. All right, David, anything else?
That's it. We've said it all.
I didn't say anything. Stop blaming me.
Said it all.
I didn't say anything at all, man. All right. Are you going live tomorrow? Something.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't be crazy like Candace Owens. Don't be retarded. Don't be an insane evil witch. I'm really trying hard here. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And as always, thanks to y'all for being here. God bless y'all, and God bless America.
Stay away from Islam.